Well, folks, that was a track, of course, off the new Voodoo Hill album, Waterfall, and it's a pleasure to be joined on the phone now by the man himself, Dario Mollo. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for inviting me to the show.
It's my pleasure. Been a fan of your work for quite a long time, obviously with your work with Tony Martin, but it's great that finally, and I'm going to say finally, you've got a new Voodoo Hill album out, because it's been a while since the last release.
Yes, and it was quite unexpected to record another album with Glenn Hughes. I just received last year a phone call from Frontiers, and they organized nearly everything. I didn't know nothing about it. They told me, Dario, do you want to record another Voodoo Hill album? We already spoke with Glenn Hughes, and he has agreed to do another one, a new one. I said, wow, yes, great. I didn't expect to record another Voodoo Hill album. This has been a great opportunity for me, because between the last Voodoo Hill album and this one, Glenn reputation grown a lot more with the Black Country Communion, and so I was wondering, I'm not sure if I can do another album with Glenn. So it's been quite nice. I was surprised first myself.
Well, the timing's perfect, really, because obviously, as you said there, I mean, Glenn's... Not that Glenn needed any improvement to his status, because, I mean, the man is a legend, but his, shall we say, his online presence and the amount you see him now on the press and whatever has increased incredibly the last couple of years.
Exactly. That's the reason why I was a little concerned and said, now he's quite too famous for me. But never say never, you know. That it happens automatically. Thanks to the record company that organized everything. That's been great. And then I was quite lucky because I had composed just previously to this phone call for the record company, something like 35 songs. So I was totally ready to, I had enough material for making, I hope, a good album.
Well, otherwise, I guess you would have had a bit of a panic attack thinking, quickly, I'm going to have to write something.
Yeah, no, I had, because I had already written 35 songs, so written and recorded. So it's been the right opportunity at the right moment, you know. Very lucky.
Well, if we take you back, I mean, would you believe 15 years back to the debut album? I mean, for those people who don't know the history of your work that obviously you've done with Glenn, how did you two hook up in the first place?
After the release of my first album with Tony Martin, I've seen that it was possible to dream, and the dream come true. Say, what not try with my favorite singer of all times, Glenn Hughes? Let's try. So I asked to my manager to ask Glenn if he want to be a part of Voodoo Hill, and Glenn just reply, send me the music, I will listen, I will tell you. He listened to the music, say, okay, I'm gonna do it. After a couple of months, Glenn was in my studio recording the first Voodoo Hill album. It's been easy like this.
I bet you were almost pinching yourself, weren't you?
Yeah, I've learned a good lesson not to put limit to myself, because generally you say, oh no, this is too much for me. Probably it will not come. No, I don't want to put limits. Just asking, and dreams can come true sometime.
Well, as I always say, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly. I agree totally with you.
One question that springs to mind regarding the new album straight away for me is, what made you decide to release the title track as the first single?
It's not my decision. It's the record company who did this. But I think it's quite a good track. So they choose the best track for them and they release as a single. But I agree with them. I cannot see anything wrong about this.
Well, when I first heard the track, I mean, I instantly fell in love with it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. When I heard the rest of the album, initially I enjoyed it, but it didn't grab me as much as that first track. However, this is not bad news, because This is one of these albums which I will call a grower. It has grown and grown the more I've listened to it, and the more you get out of it.
Absolutely, it was my goal to do this. I didn't want to make a record the last 1 week and then disappear. If you put a little energy on listening, a little more time, it will grow on you, because there is behind every track a huge amount of work in production, the orchestra and decision, mix, remix. I put a huge effort to make this album. So it's good that people have to listen more and more time. Every time they find something new inside every track. So it was my goal to make such an album.
Well, a phrase that I often use would be, it is not what you'd call a musical wallpaper. It is something you do have to sit down and really concentrate on. But my God, are you rewarded for it?
Yeah, exactly. I call old school. I remember when I was young that the first time I bought Made in Japan, for example, I've listened to this album for years and years. I don't want to compare myself to the big, great bands like Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, but I like that an album become a friend of mine for a long time, to be a soundtrack of my life for quite a long time. Few albums, but they last quite long.
Absolutely, that is a perfect way of putting it. Absolutely. Well, what for you? Obviously, this album is going down a storm already, review-wise, and obviously, it is released on the 16th of October. I know a lot of people are already absolutely gagging at the bit to get hold of this, having seen and read the reviews for this. But going forward from this, what plans have you got for the future? Are you working on anything new yourself? I mean, I'm obviously would love to see another Cage album.
I'm just finished to mix. Just before this interview, I was mixing a new album with a wonderful, wonderful English singer. Is Carl Sentence. Is the actual singer of Nazareth.
I do know Carl.
Is a wonderful, wonderful person and wonderful singer, songwriter. I'm very, very lucky, and I'm just finishing a new album with Carl, and I'm so excited about it. Great, great, great human being and great singer. You're in England. You are very, very lucky about amazing rock singers. That's great. I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to work with them. That's great. It's been introduced to me by Don Airey. He came to visit me 1 year ago in my home. He was playing with Deep Purple close to my home, and I asked him if he could suggest me a singer. Said, "Oh, I know a singer. For me, he was one of the best singer in the planet." Said, "Oh yes, suggest please." And he did all the agreement. Don Airey. He's been great, great friend. And he introduced me to Carl. So I'm very, very excited about this new production. Then I have the next Voodoo Hill music ready.
Wow.
Yeah, not the vocals, because we are just releasing this one. But the music is about recorded. That's great. I love it.
Well, it's fantastic news about Carl. I mean, Carl has got, another singer with an incredible track record. I saw him, when did I last see Carl perform? Must be about a year or so ago in a small club near where I live. And he was actually singing for Uli John Roth.
Ah, yes, he told me, yeah.
Which was great, actually seeing both of them in a very small club with only about 30 people. And I sort of had to pinch myself the fact that I was seeing both of them together. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, but you see live, now he's in Nazareth. That's amazing.
Yes, indeed. And doing very, very well as well into the bargain.
I remember, for example, the first gig I saw in my youth was Rainbow with Graham Bonnet and Don Airey. I was blown away. 20 years later, I received a phone call from Don Airey asking me to do an English tour with Graham Bonnet and Don Airey performing the Rainbow Song from Down to Earth. You see, the life is unpredictable. That's great, and I'm very, very pleased about Carl doing his job in Nazareth, because he is such a professional, a good singer. Also, he's a real singer live.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What's the projected release date for that? Because I'm gonna nag you about that, because now you've whet my appetite.
I just finished the mix, then I will start the business. That is not the good part of my job, the business, But I was concentrating releasing Voodoo Hill and not create confusing or overdo stuff to bore people. Now it's time, after the release, to start the business. Between the business and the release, generally 7-8 months. So, but I'm very, very pleased about the result. I'm sure you will love it, because not for me, but it's just Carl.
I trust me, Dario. I think I'm probably going to enjoy this release.
Okay, thank you.
Well, Dario, it's been an absolute joy talking to you. I say, I've been a huge fan of everything you produced and released so far. Obviously, the K stuff, because Tony Martin, again, another absolutely fantastic singer. And this album, I say, has really grown on me, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. To be absolutely honest with you, have not stopped playing it. I wish you all the success with it, and hopefully get you back on the show when the release of the album with Carl comes to light.
Absolutely. Can't wait to arrive at this point, to be again in this show, because it means that the album is being released with Carl. Yes, I can't wait to do this. That's fantastic, Dan. I thank you for the interview, to the opportunity of promote my album, The Voodoo Hill. Thank you.
No, it's my pleasure. You take care, and I'll hopefully speak to you again soon.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
Cheers now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.